So this is the $50 million question, isn't it? How can you stop yourself from having the thoughts that you don't want to be having? Well, the short answer is you can't. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear, because I deliberately titled this video How to Stop Your Thoughts, because that's the goal that so many people have when they come see me. Is the goal is to stop having the thoughts. And this is something that is so important to understand early on in trying to help yourself overcome your OCD, is that we can't control the things that pop into our head. You cannot stop the thoughts from popping into your head. If you don't believe me, ask yourself this: how long have you been trying to control what pops into your head, or trying to stop things that you don't like popping into your head? How long have you been doing that? Now, likely thing is that you probably say, well, you know, I've always been doing that, or as long as I can remember having the problem. And if that's the case, then ask yourself this: if you've been trying to do it for so long, why are you still having the problem? Because it's impossible. You're trying to achieve the impossible by trying to block out those thoughts, trying to stop the thoughts from coming in, because we don't have control over the things that pop into our minds. We only have control over what we then do with the things that pop into our minds. So for example, whether we decide to listen to it, whether we imbue it with meaning, whether we carry on that thought process, or whether we just ignore it. That's where we have control. But we don't have control over what pops into our head. And equally important is the fact that the more that you try and control the uncontrollable, i.e. force yourself to stop thinking about something, where's your focus? If you're trying to stop thinking about something, what are you focusing on? You're focusing on the exact thing that you don't want to be focusing on. So by trying not to think about it, you're actually getting yourself to think about it more. And that's how it becomes such a problem, is the more you try and stop it, the worse it gets. So if the answer is not to try and stop the thoughts, then what is the answer? What do I do with my thoughts? Well, this very short answer is you do nothing. Now that probably sounds like a really unhelpful or difficult thing, or perhaps even kind of a ridiculous thing to say about thoughts that you find really disturbing. But ultimately that is the shortest answer, is that what we want people to do with these thoughts that pop up into their heads is we want people to do nothing. We want people to ignore them, like they're just gobbledygook, that they don't mean anything. So we want people to stop imbuing them with meaning, to stop paying attention and acting on those thoughts, to stop trying to push them away, to stop replacing them with other thoughts. We just want you to let the thoughts be there in your head and not pay attention to them. Now, obviously, when you've been paying attention to thoughts for a long time and you've been imbuing them with meaning, or trying to push them away, or engaging in them, having arguments with them, when you've been really paying attention to them, it takes a lot of practice to get you to start doing something different. Well, actually, for some people, they do. Once they get this idea, I've just got to let the thoughts be there, they can start to do that. But it isn't as easy as it sounds. Well, actually, it probably doesn't even sound easy. So we do understand that it's not as easy as that just ignore them and that's it. We've got to now get you to retrain your brain by behaving differently with those thoughts. And the first primary thing is you've got to stop trying to stop the thoughts. You cannot stop what comes into your head.